Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cave Trolls Cast. Today, we're going to be talking about Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
And it was a menace.
Yes, that is my stance. It was definitely a menace. But first, we're going to get into the positives. Jordan, you're maybe the only fan of this movie at this table. Sade?
No, I would say I'm like 60.
So it's 2-on-2. We're going to do a cage fight.
Uh-oh.
No holds bars. I'm Bonesaw.
Is this like Street Fighter or
No, this
how
is
we're
like
doing
this is like
Tekken?
I was going to say 2K wrestling, but sure.
Do we have electric combos?
Only Jordan, because he's the only one here at the table with abs. So fuck you. You know what? Jordan's out.
So Star Wars.
So Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
I hate the movie now.
What do you love about it? Give me your top three.
Okay, so the top three, I would say the effects.
Wrong.
Okay.
All right. No. So the effects.
Yes, the effects. I did like the story as
As a whole.
just like in itself before it goes on to like the next two movies.
I got
But,
you. As like a contained thing. I will
Yes.
agree with you. Partly, I thought it was a good idea for a
Yeah.
story. I thought it was executed terribly, but I thought, as a whole, like it was neat. Let's show where Darth Vader came from.
Yeah.
You know, which partly ruins the mystery, but sometimes it's cool to get to the bottom of the mystery too.
Right, because
Yeah.
they already know like that he.
Yeah, we already know that story. We know that he becomes evil, so there's almost a fun to the inevitability of the story.
Right.
So I get where they're going with that. I don't think it's the little boy's fault that I didn't like his acting. I thought it was his dialogue,
Yeah.
but he was cute. I'll give him that. It was adorable.
Adorable.
He looked like a young River Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Natalie Portman also was adorable back then, but terrible
Oh,
chemistry.
I
You
love
pointed out to
Natalie
me,
Portman.
and I will list this as one of my positives. Keira Knightley was in that movie. Did you guys know that?
What?
No,
Where?
I
When?
didn't.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan points out. Keira Knightley plays her double.
Yep.
What?
Padme's double.
I have to what?
What?
That's
the-
No.
I have
exactly
to
what it
watch it when I get home
My
today.
mind was blown.
I can't remember her name. It's like it starts with an S or something.
I don't
like that,
remember
but,
either. I
Is
call her
she in
Padme's
full
double.
makeup the whole time?
Yeah, until
No,
the
until
end.
the last celebration scene.
Yep.
She doesn't have the
Going
makeup
to
on.
study that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I didn't believe him. I
hardcore.
was like, Jordan, I'm pretty sure you're wrong. And then he pulls up the IMDb page. We look over the video. It's clearly Keira Knightley.
Fucking hell.
I don't think it's because I hadn't watched it since Pirates of the Caribbean. That was her
And-
claim to fame for me.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Not only that, but like in a way, Natalie Portman and Keira
Oh
Knightley
no,
do
they
look similar.
No, you
so
can
yeah.
totally
that's
make
how,
a you could totally make an argument. But when I was younger, I was completely that's one of my negatives actually is that they tried to make them seem as like the same character, and to me they clearly look different. So I would just confuse me more. And also since George wanted to CGI the entire movie. Why not just CGI another Natalie Portman? I mean, in Clone Wars, you CGI'd 5,000 fucking Jango Fett's.
Yeah.
But
Well, okay. One thing I'm gonna say is like I can understand like his desire to do it, but
Because,
they didn't quite understand like the effect that it was gonna have.
oh no, and like didn't understand like it wasn't gonna last. I
Right.
will agree with you there. I mean, George has always been about cutting edge effects,
Right.
From Indiana Jones to the original Star Wars movies,
And like
all
with,
of Lucasfilm.
with his original Star Wars movies, like he wanted to do so much more than he had, but there was the technology
Limitations,
at the
right.
time.
Yeah.
There was so much limitation.
And I don't. It's in hindsight that you see how magical that the Jim Henson puppets and everything made that movie. The practical effects are what we love, and that's why Force Awakens is returning to it.
Yes.
So that might be that sterile, computerized feel is where I start to lose all nostalgia for Phantom Menace. Really, my second positive, and I will list that probably with yours too, is the pod racing.
Yes.
and that kind of segues from the effects. Beautiful.
oh yeah,
That scene still stands up to me. I mean, that should have been the whole movie.
they did have the practical effect just for like the pod racer, like he was
Like,
actually,
the-
sitting, in the
thing.
pod racer,
Which honestly, imagine
it
if
worked
they
out
that whole
so
thing.
well
Yeah.
too.
Also, I mean, that's just like the one real moment of tension that I felt because I thought like I knew they weren't gonna kill Annie, obviously, since you know he's Darth Vader. From the promotional art too, like they didn't even try to hide that. That was just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Anakin Skywalker. You know his name, but I mean, as a kid, I didn't.
And like even then in the movie, they only mention it like once in the original trilogy.
Right.
They only mention Anakin's name.
Yeah, Ben throws it out there. He's
Yeah.
like, your father was Anakin and all that stuff. But that pod racing scene was awesome. Great effects. I love the director's cut where it's like 10 minutes longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause, I mean,
in
it was already
itself-
half that film.
right. It's such a long scene in itself, but it just makes that scene even cooler. Just seeing more of what he had for what went on and everything.
What's your third positive, or should I go to Sade since
Oh.
you're a little bit burned on these as well?
For a positive, like I'd have to say Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're gonna definitely list 4 positive because he should just be his own category, right?
I was just gonna say like list like Qui-Gon Jinn and shoot,
Obi-Wan?
Well, yeah, Obi-Wan too, but I was gonna say
Shmi.
Shmi.
Where is it?
Shmi Skywalker.
Who? What were you talking about? What?
I don't Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Okay.
Like I'm just saying like certain
Focus.
certain characters in general. Like,
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
You mean all the characters they offed in the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
All the amazing characters that they killed after one
Yeah.
film.
Mhm.
What the fuck, George? I mean, most of the fun of the second one is seeing those characters return, like, and just like see the status quo has changed a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Right, but some of your favorite characters from the first one, they're gone.
Well, I guess, but like, do you have to kill all of the favorite ones?
No, I
You
know. And then yeah, I just
yeah, but so Qui-Gon definitely amazing. My first experience with Liam Neeson that I can remember at least.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I love the final scene. I'm gonna put this together with Darth Maul in our next point. So the fight between Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, and Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Just with
Yeah.
Qui-Gon meditating in between those laser doors. This is my negative side of the effects. Why the fuck were those laser doors there?
Yeah.
What is the geography of this building that there's just like this strange Tom Cruise Mission Impossible vault with laser doors for no reason?
Because they start out clearly in a hangar.
Right.
You see the outside of it, how big it is. Then suddenly they go through this door. There's this chasm. There's lasers. There's multiple platforms.
What is the practical application of this room?
it doesn't make sense. It's a huge open area that doesn't seem to fit with the size of the actual building
this
that
is
they
this
were
is
in.
the designated lightsaber duel arena.
You see, what happens is they were building the Death Star inside of Naboo.
And that's where they get. Is that where they get the the Star Killer base in Force Awakens?
I think so.
Twist.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
I think they're building that out of that planet actually with the crystals, where they get the lightsaber crystals. That's
Oh
basically
my
gonna be one
God.
giant lightsaber
It's
crystal.
just one giant lightsaber.
That's
Wow.
exactly that's.
What?
I think that's
my mind right now. Alderaan.
that's not purely my theory. That's a lot of people's theory, but that looks like the planet that the Jedi originally get their lightsaber crystals from, because that planet only produces blue and green lightsaber crystals, and that's the laser, and it's snowy, unless they're on Hoth again for some fucking reason.
Call it Colt.
Anyways, back to Phantom Menace. Sade, give me one of your positives, other than Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul.
It was more of a personal thing for me than actually a movie. It was my first, like, I grew up with the Star Wars movies, but it was my first Star Wars movie that I got to see in the theater.
Oh,
So it's very sentimental to me for that.
that makes sense.
reason.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
so many people, like Jordan especially. I always bring this up because he's a year younger than me. Is he has a special nostalgia for these films? Whereas like Phantom Menace probably was one of the first Star Wars movies I saw, but I didn't realize it was a Star Wars movie till after I saw Empire
Okay.
Strikes Back.
Yeah.
But like it's his Star Wars movie. It's the ones that so many people like us grew up with.
Yeah.
So even if they're not as good as the original to most people, they're still our generation Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because now it's going to be overshadowed by good Star Wars movies.
Yeah. So we hope.
So we hope. Exactly.
Yeah,
So we hope.
fingers crossed, yeah.
So real quick, since we spent most of the time with positives, some quick negatives. I'm gonna go right off with the effects. There was too many. I'm not saying they were bad. They
Yeah.
were definitely top, state of the art. But looking back at Jar Jar, it didn't age well. But at the time, amazing. Now it's just the entire movie CGI.
Yeah,
Right?
I'd
All
have to
green
say
screen.
the effects were great for the industry, terrible for the movie.
And the other thing with that is like some of the effects that were good, like I would say the actual cities like Naboo,
Right.
the ancientness and how like they portray like the different cool things about that. That's cool. Same with
Oh,
Coruscant.
I will
But-
go with that. Yeah.
But, like the negative effects where like there's some CGI like problems with Yoda a couple times.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it,
the
like,
stutter.
It stutters and
Oh, yeah.
Also, since all the backgrounds are CGI, I couldn't buy into it. I couldn't
It
even get
didn't-
into the fantastical landscape.
it didn't
you know?
feel like they were real, like they were.
Like
No.
real
Ooh,
places.
Yeah.
there's one that sticks out in my head right away. It's in the beginning when Qui-Gon's trying to cut open that door to get to the Viceroy.
Mhm.
Right.
It's right when the droidekas like start blowing up they like start shooting at the wall.
Yeah.
And Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan like run away. There's this big explosion and they jump.
Yeah, they jump at the end of the hole, and I was like, "The fuck was that?"
Yeah.
That's your introduction to force jump.
Yep.
I know the exact scene because me and Jordan were watching. They're like, "How did they get to the end of that hallway? Like, what the hell happened there?"
They jump like just to the edge of the frame.
My final. I'm gonna go off the nostalgia with you. Actually, my final negative is definitely nostalgia because that was, like I said, probably one of the first Star Wars films I saw. So I already didn't like Star Wars, but the main reason wasn't the effects or the acting and all this stuff. The movie was about goddamn Trade Federation regulations.
Yeah.
It was 2.5 hours of caricature, like stereotypical Asian space pirates trying to smuggle things. I don't know.
Well, the taxes on those routes were so
Oh
high.
my god! Just toss the tea into space and get it over with. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's what we have to say about the Phantom Menace today. Check out our other videos. We're gonna do one on Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Watch these in order, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Or watch them in machete order, like you should watch the movies. It makes the original trilogy awesome. More awesome? Less
More
awesome?
Awesomer.
The prequels can't be more awesome because I mean they're already very minimum awesome, but it does make them better in context.
yes.
Yes.
Have you seen the machete order?
No.
All right, well that's what we're gonna watch next. Check us out. Thank you. Good job, guys.
And force push.